Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Farside TV with my co-host Jeremy Scippio.
What's going on, people?
Oh man, I'm just glad to hop back into the double dutch. We got the homeboy Deleon. You know what I'm saying? He's here cracking his knuckles, and you know what I'm saying?
Look, guys,
Yo,
this is
crack,
round
cracking
two
my
of
knuckles is wild work. What's going on, people?
Oh man, all good, man. Glad to have you back. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you,
Come
thank
in
you.
and I love your perspective and point of view. You know, when I met you, um, I had no idea you were a comedian, and you were Jeremy's homeboy, and I remember you coming by the original store 2 for 2, and you were a young, flavorful cat, and Jeremy was propping you up. He's like, man, Deleon's kind of like my ear to the street. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy I kind of, I have respect for his opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit, Deleon, the little young homeboy, you know what I'm saying? I remember you had a I don't know if you had a ridiculous sneaker collection, but I remember you kind of had some sneakers cracking off too, and
Yeah,
had the whole
yeah.
thing. So I say all that to just build you up and to just let the Splendid family know, you definitely family to Splendid Radio. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
We yeah, no, we hold on, man. I live in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I live in the hood. We keeping it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm doing
Oh
reverse
man.
gentrification, man. I'm not the rich person moving into the hood to take advantage. I'm the person that need to be in the hood because that's what it is. But
Hey, it's all good.
anyway,
Uh-huh.
glad to have you back, Jeremy. Glad to have you, Deleon.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you.
Look, we got some topics we gonna talk about. I'm just gonna be straight up with everybody. Uh, look, Deleon is a Drake supporter, and this podcast, people who tune in know this is technically anti-Drake territory. So
That's
tensions will
crazy.
be high. I'm just talking about history. I'm not talking about any. I'm not putting an opinion out there. I'm just saying anybody who
Man.
follows this tends to be that. So there might be some high tension, but we're gonna try to keep it pushing. But you guys feel free to say whatever's on your heart. But I just want to go through this week. This week we had this weird beef popped off between Joe Budden and 50 Cent. Wasn't really expecting that. It all started with Irv Gotti passing, rest in peace, which we covered on here. Irv Gotti passed. 50 Cent thought it would be, I guess he was going for humor, at least how I interpreted it, where he said, RIP. What did he say? Dang, what's the line? I gotta bring this up. He said, he said, smoking on that Gotti pack tonight. Then he goes, LOL, just kidding. Uh, RIP to that man, something like that. And Joe Budden thought it was distasteful. He said 50 Cent need therapy. 50 Cent was like, uh, hey, Joe, when I see you is on, pretty much. And now it's gone legal. Uh, 50 Cent was putting some AI pictures up of Joe Budden. I didn't see the pictures, but apparently it was something not tasteful, and Joe Budden threatened to sue. What are you guys' thoughts on that? On suing as a retaliation to someone cracking jokes?
You asking me or you asking?
Yeah,
No,
well,
I'll let
you're
you I'll let
Joe,
you go,
but yeah,
Deleon.
yeah.
All right, I'm because I think because I watched that clip of the podcast of the Joe Budden podcast. He said that if he didn't find it funny or if it didn't make him money, he would sue. I don't think he's suing. I think he just put that out there like if it wasn't making him money that he would file a defamation case against 50 Cent. But I think 50 Cent is known for trolling ever since his kind of buzz faded. So everybody he gets into it with, 50 Cent, Rick Ross, like he gonna troll them. Herb Gotti, he gonna troll them all the way till they in the ground, and he gonna troll them when they in the ground. So I wholeheartedly believe like it's harmless. I don't think 50 Cent has any malice behind him talking shit about other people. I think it's just something that he does because he knows he can do it, and everybody's gonna tune in to hear the jokes. I don't think Joe Budden really cares. If I'm being honest, I think Joe Budden just looks at it like, oh, they saying my name again, so that's getting me paid. That's bringing more viewers to my podcast. It's making me money, so I don't care.
What do you think about the suing though? I mean, like that's
If it's
to just jump straight there is still like wow.
well, I think it's if somebody feels some type of way, they feel some type of way. If they feel like you defaming their name or you throwing smut on their name to take away their bag, then yeah, they gonna sue your ass. But if they not, then yeah, because you wouldn't sue them just for fun. You sue them because it affected your bottom line. And if it didn't affect Joe Budden's bottom line, I don't see how you can have a point of contention with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
So I have a little different take on it. When I saw when 50 made the comment about Irv Gotti, and I felt that man, that was just, man, when somebody's dead, that's just like really over the top. But they had history, but even with the history, I felt that was over the top. But I had to step back, and when it came to the 50 and the Joe Budden, I almost feel like I felt like I need to look at that somewhat the way that I'm looking at the political situation the country's in. We're like, man, these is two rich folks, man. You know what I'm saying? They really two rich folks, and they and like I can agree with Deleon. Them poking at each other is making them both relevant. Like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's making them both relevant. Now, 50 did make a comment, and he said, he joked about Joe Budden being naked. I think he said something like,
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
he said he said something like, just make sure you keep your clothes on or something like that,
Yeah, they said keep the clothes on. Something about the kids. He said he said the kids are watching, man.
yeah.
Joe Budden was tweaking in a hallway at a hotel or something with his clothes off. So
Yeah, he said he was sleepwalking.
He accidentally rung the doorbell to the wrong apartment. The people tried to
yeah,
sue him. They did go too far. They tried to say their kids was watching, but they caught it on ring cam. Like ain't no kids gonna be watching on ring cam.
yeah.
Like that unless you showed it to them. So that was a bit much. But my take on it real quick is some people 50 Cent got. I feel like everybody got multiple modes. Like they got at least two modes they go into. It's like when your homie's joking, even if we're not in on the joke, when it's somebody you mess with, joke, like say if Fat Joe has something to say about something 50 Cent said, or Cameron has something to say about something 50 Cent said, I think he would react differently. When Joe Budden, see, they already got like it's kind of one of those situations where it's like I'm looking for a reason to punch you in the face, and people forget that 50 Cent or Eminem and Joe Budden got smoked because since Joe Budden became a podcaster, he's been going in on Eminem, saying every project he dropped is garbage, which Eminem took very personally because he's like he put a lot of money into trying to launch Joe Budden's career with Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, Eminem took it personally. Like it's way beyond that. If 50 Cent as an enforcer for Eminem, he's upset. Like he's looking for it, like anything Joe Budden say, because Joe Budden just commented on the news, just like we commented on the news. But 50 Cent, like, if it's you talking, nigga, I'm looking for a reason to punch you in the face.
And that makes sense because Joe Budden once played the game. So I
Yeah,
think they have a disdain for his opinion now because he's basically the guy who lost, and now he's like, oh, I'm gonna align myself with the people who give the news or report the news
yeah,
on the industry. And it's like, bro, you only doing this because your career didn't go as far as an Eminem or as big as a 50 Cent. So it's like, I think they look at him like, how dare you once like say that you love this as an art and you love doing this to just turn around and be another person that's gossiping for dollars, especially
facts,
gossiping about us who are still in the game because M is still in the game. It's like if I'm M, I'd be bothered with that also. Like I give you a push to start your own thing, and granted, Slaughterhouse was good, but it wasn't 50 Cent, like it wasn't mega. So it's like nobody told Joe Budden to stop. It's just the truth of the matter is Joe Budden couldn't give us enough hits. Like we as a collective said, hey man, we heard Pump It Up. I seen you guys serve. Hey, I'm good.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah,
just life.
yeah, yeah. I think that's accurate. I also, we can move on because I think we gave that enough energy.
All right.
Cool. So this one's for you, Deleon. The Grammys. Did you watch them? Did they meet your expectation?
I did not watch the Grammys. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really been into watching the Grammys. I'm not gonna even sit up here and say like I've been a person that like every time the Grammys came on, I was first front row in front of the TV waiting to see who would get an award. I don't give a shit about the Grammys if I'm being honest. And most of it, as I got older, so I realized like what the Grammys was. I'm like, oh, this is just like who they like because it's artists who deserve way more than one Grammy who never got them and never probably
Right.
will get them. And it's like, oh, this is just a little, it's like one of those little parties that people throw that are specific cliques. And they go, oh, well, you were invited to the party and you get a little reward for being at the party. But in the grand scheme of things, about actual quality music or actual quality projects, they don't give a shit about that.
So I'm gonna give you a little history from my perspective on the Grammys. So
Um,
at one point in time, the Grammys were dope. That's where you got you saw you saw history get made. Like you really saw history get made. And then in my opinion, the more that corporate America got involved in it, they started losing people. They like it was they just, like every year they were just losing. So then they got like Questlove to step up and a couple of and Oma like Omas from Sarah,
Oh yeah, that's common.
and they got these advocates to come in to kind of do what I guess Jay-Z did to the Super Bowl, like to pump some life into it. And when they did that, it wasn't really organic, and it seemed like this hard thing to kind of keep going. Because first of all, you got to understand, the Grammys are a group of music people, and they vote on their peers. So it's not like a Deleon, a Jeremey, and a Greg, and then we give our opinions on what we feel based on or whatever. There's a lot of politics that go into the slanting of it. And one of the things that kind of pulled me away from them, and it's crazy how our emotions can just get swayed based off of an artist that we revere in a certain type of way. But Tribe Called Quest that came out with an album, and
mhm.
I knew Q-Tip's manager, real cool with him, and I remember it was said that Questlove promised Q-Tip a Grammy if he came and performed. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
see, Quest knew if Q-Tip performed on the Grammys, it would bring a whole bunch of eyeballs to it. You know what I'm saying? Where it would, once again, getting that viewership up and whatnot. So Tip came out there. They performed at the Grammys. They did the da 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 da. It was said that Questlove told Tip that he was going to get a Grammy. They and then like on behind the scenes, they flew out on a private jet. They really didn't kick it in LA like that. They like flew in on a private jet, came for the little whoop whoop, and then they bounced back. So when Tip didn't get a Grammy, he was disgusted, and he had no problem letting everybody in the world know that he was disgusted. Like, man, y'all got me. Like, I wouldn't
Mhm.
even came out and did this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
what I believe, so so a little something about the
What year are you talking about?
shoot, man, I don't know, man. It was after Fife had died, probably in the last 7 years, 6 years.
Because they got Grammys. Tribe has Grammys.
They didn't get a Grammy on the one that they performed at.
Okay.
No, they could have got one after that.
Mhm.
They could, and they may have gotten one before that. But the one that they performed when it was just Jerobe and Q-Tip, I know they didn't get one. Matter of fact,
Oh no, you're right. They have not. Okay, yeah, it says here they haven't won any Grammys
he went on a
nominated for.
rant. Dude, he went on a rant, and I'm one of those kind of I'm not gonna say I'm loyal to a fault, but because I'm loyal, when it comes to disloyalty, it's easy for me to just be off somebody. I mean, and when I say off of them, like, man, it's like, man, it put this way, even though Deleon's taste in music sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I had to do it.
Okay.
I had to do it. No, but if somebody had a problem with Deleon and it was something that was kind of like funny style, and they were supposed to be my homeboy, I'm the type of dude where I'd be like, you need to fix that. Like, I'm not gonna say it's Deleon. I'm not gonna say it's you. I'm gonna treat y'all like little kids. It's y'all. But because Deleon's my homeboy through Jeremey, y'all gotta fix that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loyal like that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, you give him a little inside tea. So you're saying that there's problems between the Roots and Tribe.
No, not at all. There was a
You
problem
kind of
that Q-Tip
gave some
had.
tea. You gave some tea though. I'm sorry. You
No,
literally
there was a problem that Q-Tip had because he was told if he went through all the hoops and the rigmarole and everything that they was gonna get a Grammy, and he did all that and came out here and came out of his comfort zone and he didn't get no Grammy.
So you agree with me that the Grammys is a group of cliques that come together to basically lie to the public and say this person deserves a trophy for their project, even though their project isn't the best. It's just that person is in the cliques.
No,
So it's
no,
okay.
that's not what I'm saying. And the reason why I gave you the little history was to add some texture to it. What I'm saying is the panel of Grammy are musical peers. And so music is presented in front of the peers, and then the peers can yay it or nay it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Grammys are selected by the peers on the Grammy committee or whatever that is, dude, I could see them not paying attention to something that may be dope to most people, because if you have a peer group, I guess me and Deleon are probably saying the same thing. If you have go ahead, Jeremy.
Just give it a little different take, because I'm not gonna lie, I definitely heard you guys say the same thing. Me I recently cast a Grammy check. I could give a better take in a sense of, I think the problem is people take these things way too personally. Just like you said, any peer group can judge anything. Any different collective of people going to take a different stance, especially recently, because they just shook up the whole Grammy committee, as of this last year. They shook the whole thing up because they got attacked, especially by the Weeknd, spearheaded the concept that it just wasn't enough diversity on the board. So by diversity, they mean Black women and gays. So it's a bunch of Black women and gays picking the music, as well as before, when it was previously mostly white men and a couple of Black men. But with that being out of the way, I think the best way to look at the Grammy Awards, Oscars, I just came from the Image Awards, VMAs, all that, you have to look at it like these are productions for television and viewing purposes. Just like any production, there's going to be some fluff because it's all about viewership, whatever. It's just like, look, some people really, really love wrestling. Some people go, it's fake. If you're the type of person to go, hey, wrestling's fake, then guess what? Wrestling's not for you. But if you really give a fuck about Stone Cold versus The Rock, and you need to see that shit, and it's really important to you, it's okay. Nobody's in the wrong. That's it. I personally still enjoy the Grammys. I like the huss and the fuss and how that works, just because I'm a fan of production. I'm a fan of film production, television production, all that. So I like it. I'm not gonna lie. But segueing perfectly into a controversial Grammy topic, Doechii just won, which we discussed on here. Doechii just won. What was it, best rap album? Best rap album, and she just won over a bunch of people, which was a controversial win because one, you got so many artists that have female artists. Like, I think only 3 Black female artists have won in the entirety of the Grammys history. I think Lauryn Hill her and I can't remember the other person, but clearly not Nicki Minaj, which that's the upset. But there's a beef that started that I just got wind of between Doechii and Azalea Banks. That this beef actually started. This is another beef that Kendrick Lamar inadvertently started. This nigga just has a way starting beefs. It's been a long history, but the beef essentially started because when Iggy Azalea was a thing, Azalea Banks, that was a big beef between Iggy and Azalea. Kendrick Lamar took Iggy's side, saying feel like she, though not being a black artist, has a right to perform in hip hop. This should be an interesting topic for you, Deleon, because he took her side, even though she's clearly Australian, not of the culture, white, but she's rapping like a black woman.
Who?
And
Oh, you said Azalea Banks.
no, Kendrick Lamar took Iggy Azalea's
Oh,
side.
Iggy Azalea. I thought you was talking about Azalea Banks. She's talking about
I'm talking
okay.
about both of them.
Oh,
Iggy,
okay.
when Azalea Banks and Iggy Azalea were beefing, right?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar defended Iggy and said she has a right to be in hip hop, like she's doing her thing. He
Isn't
even
that isn't
I
that funny?
I thought you would be interested in this topic.
Oh,
So
this midget ass
Azalea,
nigga. Man, this is insane, bro.
okay, so Azalea was really pissed by this. Kendrick Lamar spoke on some black culture stuff separate from this, and
Yeah.
Azalea Banks was on his ass. Like nigga, you not the black culture king the way you say. He took a opinion that wasn't pretty much. He just said like whenever a black person, it was the Mike Brown situation.
Yeah.
Kendrick commented on it like, hey, we need to take more responsibility for ourselves and what we do. And Azalea Banks was, which I actually agree with Azalea, but since then she been on his ass. Insert
Yeah.
Doechii. Azalea Banks believes in this conspiracy that TDE was upset at her this whole time. So they
Uh-huh.
created an Azalea Banks clone to get rid of her.
Well, first off, nobody needed to create anybody to get rid of Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks hasn't been relevant in the past 10 years. But I will say this, Doechii did not deserve a Grammy first year out with this project, especially if nobody, I can ask 100 people in my area. Nobody knows this person. Nobody has a single from this person. And if I survey 10 people in my own family, if they heard of Doechii, they gonna say, who is that? So if you're telling me a person who most people don't know, single was not popping like that, or didn't even have a single like that, has got a Grammy, yeah, that's some click shit. So yeah, that's my take on that. I don't, and I heard some of her raps, like she's decent, but for her to get a Grammy this early in her career, nah, she ain't proved
Aze-
herself. Like I
Azalea
think she
Banks,
for sure should have came out with a few bangers. A few Lauren Hill came out with bangers, if I'm not
Azalea Banks,
mistaken. Like it's people
yeah,
who came out with bangers before they got trophies. Hell, Kendrick Lamar lost to old buddy
yes,
Macklemore. Like
McElroy, yeah.
you're not gonna say, and that was his best project. So you're telling me Kendrick Lamar's best project didn't get a Grammy over some bullshit song that was a one-hit wonder, and his most recent stuff, which was trash, got five? Come on, man. That's just insane. But that's
So
how I go back to my original statement. The Grammys is just a clique in a high school who said, yeah, we the clique of blah 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 high say that these people deserve trophies for their bullshit work. And it's okay.
Azalea Banks said that Doechii got the Grammy because she's black and ugly, and they feel bad. They feel
Damn.
bad for not putting on dark skinned women. She said that's the only reason why. And I'm paraphrasing the hell out of this because she goes in her.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I will say it's become participation trophies. It holds nowhere near as much as weight as it used to, because everything now is just participation trophy. Everybody's just like, oh, give me one, because I'm here and because I'm whatever. And it's like, no, is your music as good as what we've heard and seen? If it's not, go back to the studio. We're not but that's not what this is. This is, oh yeah, and I like to think that maybe it is because she's black and looks the way she looks. Because it's a lot of black rappers that's female. Glorilla, Sexy Red. It's a lot of, and I'm talking about that's moving the needle, that got people in the club jumping. So if you want to sit up here and just align it with, oh, but she's conscious and she's blah 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 and she's TDE and she's LA, whatever. I ain't heard
All
the
right,
shit like that.
all right, cool. Hey, let's keep it pushing. What do you think about the Yeezy swastika coin?
You talk about the shirts?
No, so Kanye, we talked about on the Super Bowl during the Super Bowl. He did a commercial. Uh, during the commercial, he pretty much said he spent the budget of the commercial on his teeth instead. So he just put out go to Yeezy.com. People went to Yeezy.com. They saw a swastika T-shirt. Everybody's upset, but now he's tweeting again. Yeah. Since then, he's decided to do a meme coin, which everybody's acknowledging as a scam. Literally, he's I think he sold his Twitter to this company that tweets for him, but pretty much he's like openly scamming people. Like he's openly saying, "Hey, I created a coin to make some money overnight. That as soon as people buy everything, like in one day, the value of it drops because he's gonna pull out of it."
So you asked me what I think about that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think? I mean, there's more details. I'm not telling all the details, but yeah.
Man, I think
And what's your
anybody.
view of Kanye overall right now?
I fuck with Kanye. I'm always fuck with Kanye. I didn't like how, yeah, I'm always fuck with Kanye, but with what you're talking about, anybody that has it in their mind about to get rich quick, any scheme that they done heard on social media saying that if you buy into this coin, because this what happened with the Hawk Tour girl. If anybody looks at life like, oh, I'm about to take this shortcut and get $1 billion by buying into this coin, yeah, that's stupid. So if you get finessed by thinking you could take shortcuts in life, that's on you. And if it's just BS, then I would advise any and everybody, yeah, don't try to take shortcuts. Get it out the mud or just try your best to find something that's solid and that you know a lot about. If you don't have knowledge about Bitcoin or any coins or cryptocurrency or any of that stuff, don't go throwing all your money at it. That's ridiculous. That's asinine. And I don't care who the person is behind it. Is the Hawk Tuah girl or Kanye West or Kirk Franklin or anybody? It's like you should not be just taking all your money thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to get rich quick. No, do
He
research, do the valid research, and actually pay attention to what's taking place because there's a lot of that going on right now.
today he promoted the Drake coin next.
Drake coin.
Kanye West today posted, he said, "Hey Drake, when you do your coin," he goes, "Take 100%, please, for me."
Yeah, I think Kanye West is he's just talking, man. It's Kanye West, man. He could. This is the guy who can literally do whatever he wants, and he just wants people to always say his name. And he's hung up on that because if he's not putting out music, another way for him to get people to say his name is to just show up with his wife, get her butt naked, and then continue life.
That made Deleon feel a little warm, just right up in his heart. You know what I'm saying? Right up in that
What
spot.
what exactly?
Oh man, just the your 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 loyalty to Kanye. But real quick, before I gotta spin the record back for a second and make this comment because it came over me today.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Sirius Radio today. We'll
Mhm.
come back to Kanye, but I had to say this though.
Yeah.
So I never connected with Doechii. Like when
Okay.
everybody was, but I've heard a lot of people say that she's incredible. Like, but I never connected. Like I couldn't.
Okay.
But what I was trying to connect with was like some random YouTube footage of her like maybe freestyling or live or just something that was like not really her performing. But today I heard one of her songs on Sirius and it wasn't her live like that thing. This was like a studio produced song. I was like, damn, she's good. No, she's good. She's definitely better than what I thought based off of YouTube clips and Instagram and little things here and there. When I got to hear like a final project, like her the project that she turned in for her grade, I was like, see, and like Deleon, I tell Jeremy all the time, me being a manager for a while, I can look at an artist and I can say, this artist has that thing. I just don't connect to it, but I'm not gonna not like it because I don't connect to it because I can hear music. Like put this way, Lil Nas X, Old Town Road.
Yeah.
I was in a car with 6 dudes and only one person had my back when I was like, dude, this is gonna be a hit. I was like, dude, this is like, I understand the semantics, and this is before they knew about how wild he was and whatever. But
Mhm.
my cheat code was Jeremy, because Jeremy knew the background on this cat, and Jeremy was like, he's not new to this. Like this whole world, he's not new to it, and he was popular before. And then when I
Mhm.
heard the song, I was like, damn, it's a catchy, like it's a hit. It's something that's catchy. So anyway, I say all that to say, I heard a produced song by Doechii, a album, a song, a record, something that was produced, not her freestyling and you getting to see her personality and all that. Just literally hearing a song, and I was like, dude, she's dope. I was like, nah, you can't. They can't take that away from her. It's just you. People get caught up with how she looks, and then how she's just all this energy and just going all, all that stuff, and that can make somebody kind of, pull back a little bit or whatever. But me just purely hearing her I didn't even know it was her, and then the name
Yeah.
flashed or whatever, and I was like,
Well,
oh man,
she's good, but this the hardest part about all of this stuff with any artist. We got a bunch of artists that were great that you got to make a hit record. You know what I'm saying? Like
There it
like
is.
Pat Poose, for example. Pat Poose is literally there's no run like 50 Cent had, right? When he like that I would say as far as like anticipation, you had 50 Cent first, strongest anticipation, Drake, I would say secondly, but then third would be Papoose. What I'm talking about is like everybody's like, yo, this dude is so fucking good. Wait till he drop a project, right? And that was the problem with Papoose. He no hits. But he had
And,
the alphabetical slaughter and everybody's waiting. So with Doechii, ability wise, she can sing, she can dance, she can rap fast. She's Nicki level. But that whole project had 0 hits. Respect to her though.
man, my thing is this: they gave her a pat on the back too early. I think the Grammy trophy for her was given to her way too early because now she is not, in my opinion, she's not going to work harder on her next project. She's going to look at this like, oh, this is my ceiling. Oh, I don't even have to do too much. I can put out whatever. And that wasn't even good enough to the masses. So I think it did a disservice by giving her a trophy this early because her as an artist, we ain't seen enough. Like I get it. You didn't probably saw a little snippet of her on YouTube, but like you said, Jeremy, it's no hardcore hits that's on the way on the radio waves right now that we can point to and go, oh, that Doechii record was fire. Even if you walked into your nearest nightclub, ain't nobody playing no Doechii song. Even
Yeah,
if you requested it, they're gonna be like, we'll see. But I think what the industry is doing, like I said, these participation trophies are only going to hurt the artist long term. Because right now, if her top is what we've heard, and she didn't got a trophy for that, I'm gonna go as far as to say I'm not checking to hear her next project if it ain't actual hits on it. Because I'm gonna tell
that
you
shit.
right now, if Cardi B is still in the conversation and Sexy Red and Glorilla and all these other female rappers, Lotto, if all these people are in a conversation and they're coming with hits out of the South and they making noise, I'm sorry, bro. Doechii is gonna get washed out. She's gonna slowly fade away, and we're gonna go, oh yeah, I remember she got that Grammy. She got the Grammy around the same time as Kendrick. That's the only thing we're gonna know about her. If she don't come with significant back-to-back hits for the next 5 years, oh, we're gonna throw her away and be like, oh yeah, we remember her.
I don't even think she need consistent back to back. She need like one. Like that should be at least a song that I'm annoyed by hearing. Like if an artist
Yeah,
don't have a song that you be like man, whether you like the artist or not, you should be annoyed by the song to where you go, well, who is this person? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and
yeah.
she, she got to do that still. Like regardless of how her career goes, she got to have at least one of those. Because Cardi B, that's a great example. Cardi B's riding off of that. She ain't made
That
nothing since.
dude, she done made some sense. It's just it ain't been as big as Bodak Yellow. And Bodak Yellow was really just a snippet of Kodak Black songs. So I'm gonna be honest, man. A lot of these chicks, if they ain't selling sex in they music, ain't nobody really tuning in. And Meg Thee Stallion, she, in my opinion, was in the runner for a person to be receiving any type of trophies. But after the lawsuit with her and Tory Lanez, it just her career kind of just it started. We're watching her career kind of just fade away.
Yeah, that's all good. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I spun the record back. Now I'm gonna let it go. So now
Yeah,
that I said that about Dope, I just didn't want to lose the thought because I was pretty
sure.
impressed when I heard the song today. I was kind of like,
She
damn, okay, I get what people are saying about her, but
she's talented. Yeah.
we
Yeah,
got to
she's
talk
done.
about your boy Kanye, man. And man,
What's wrong with her?
What's wrong with that?
what's not wrong with it?
It's Kanye West. It's
what's
Kanye West.
what's not wrong with it?
It's Kanye West. What you mean?
Hey man, he said slavery was a choice, man.
And
He
and
doubled down. He brought it back.
and
I'm
here's the
sure.
thing. And if you pay attention to Black Panther, it was.
Come
What
on,
does
man.
that mean? I don't even know what that means.
Okay,
Come on.
in the movie Black Panther, at the end, when old buddy was like, I'm about to die before
Killmonger.
I let these people just enslave me. Because here's the thing. You're speaking, we're speaking from a 20th century in this life where things are a lot more what equal than what they once were. So it's like if back then your option was I'm about to get these lashes because master just didn't like what I did or I didn't pick enough cotton, you can die by trying to run away. And that's what a lot of people did. So I think what Kanye was saying was we all got a choice, even in today. Like, if you don't like your job, you can say fuck your job and go be broke and try to find another job. If you say, man, I don't
Man.
fuck with this, I don't fuck with this type of food, I don't fuck with this restaurant, I don't fuck with these people, you can get away from them, you can go away. You have the choice. Now,
Negative. In 2025, you have the choice. But in the 1800s, you did not have the choice.
what do you mean you didn't have the choice? The
Okay,
choice
this
was
can
to die or do what they asked you to do.
and okay, look, this is good for both sides, right? Literally, this is the principles that this country was built off of. Like, I'm outside of slavery, outside of race. Legitimately, America. One of the core phrases was "Give me liberty or give me death." Literally, this was a rebellious nation. That was the whole concept behind America and how it was founded. So, pretty much invading Britain, coming up with this new concept, new world. They left, whatever. So, in that way, I understand. I think what the problem was with when Kanye originally said it during the TMZ interview, it was like there was other stuff going on, and he just kind of said it out of his own ranting. It was
Yeah.
insensitive. It was insensitive for him to say. This current version of Kanye is kind of going like fuck everything. But this is somebody who mastered the game, who's a bit because he ate crow. He ate crow recently. You know what I'm saying? Like he you understand this is 3 to 4 years of him building back. Like
Definitely.
let's
You gotta let them know, Jeremy.
yeah, because we
Boy.
can't pretend like he didn't chill out. He did chill out. And
No, he
now
apologized.
he apologized, yeah, specifically. So now that he back up again, he was at 4 billion, lost, and now I think 2.5 billion. But I don't know how that works because this is projected money. It's not like it's in his bank account. So I don't understand how that works. But regardless, since he's been projected to make 2.5 billion, now he's talking his shit again. Respect to Kanye, respect to whatever he's doing or trying to do. It's 20 for me, so I don't understand
Well,
it.
I think what
I just
he's
want to give. Hold on, let me land right here. I just want to
yeah.
say the fact that literally, you as a billionaire, you speaking freely. That's different than give me liberty or give me death.
Well, I like to think that he is uh, actually expressing, his freedom of speech. That's what this country is. We can walk around and say whatever we want. And just because we say whatever we want doesn't mean that we should be, stricken down and have our money or houses or cars taken away. Like that's what freedom of speech is. So if you don't like that this is the country that we live in and everybody has freedom of speech, that's something you got to take up with yourself. But if you had Kanye West money and somebody said, "Man, you can't say that," you're gonna go, yeah, fuck you. I can say whatever I want. And that's how white people feel with the N-word. Rich white people don't give a damn. If they wanted to say the N-word, they'll say the N-word and think, no, they wouldn't care at all what you thought of them. But with this whole cancel culture thing, it's becoming like a policing of speech, of like, oh, if you say that, we're gonna take your whatever away. And we actively watched Kanye West go through this, and Kanye West said, I'm still Kanye West. So I'm Kanye West with $5 in my pocket. I'm Kanye West with $5 million in my pocket. Fuck you if you gonna tell me I can't say what I want to say. And I think that everybody has to understand that that's everybody. He's the only one with the balls enough to say, yeah, I'm not about to play this game with y'all. I'm gonna say what I want to say. And I think that's what Elon Musk did with his whole whatever. Like everybody is trying to get away from this cancel culture thing by saying, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Fuck you, you can't stop me. And the only ones who can really say it are the ones who got the ends, like the money that don't end. Elon Musk got money that will never end. Kanye West got money that won't end. So they can wholeheartedly grab their nuts and say, fuck you, I said it, now what? I did the
I
salute,
think.
now what? What you gonna do to me? You can't do shit to me.
I
And
think.
I think that's what
Okay.
everybody is witnessing.
Well, I think something that's separating it, and it's something I talk about often on this podcast, is he's kind of doing the thing that pays him a little bit too. Like the barometer, he's pushing the barometer by being wild. Because the opposite is them not talking to him, talking about him. Now he's not making money, and nobody's interested in his next project. So it's a little different when you talk about Kanye versus Elon. Elon kind of own another thing. We can open that up a little later, but I just say Kanye. I think he understands that though he makes money off of being a producer and being all these other things, the controversial side, if he don't feed that beast, the other ones don't get paid. And it's always about the money at the end of the day. I don't care how crazy the antics are. I don't care how like he's still loyal to money more than a lot of these things. I
That's
think
that
money, yeah.
that could be true, but I'm just saying, like, it's a person flipping burgers right now that's tweeting some outlandish stuff about black people.
Yeah, nobody care.
A lot of people don't care, and at the end of the day they are doing the freedom of speech thing. They like, man, I can say whatever I want. Who are you to tell me I can't say this? I live in America. I don't live in another country where I can't do and say whatever I want. I can, for the most part, all of us here can say whatever we want and get absolutely no backlash. You can say you don't like the military, you can shit on the president, you can say outlandish stuff about the government as a whole, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you.
other than a
So,
few lumps.
Okay. Look, I'm
so
gonna push. I'm gonna push through these
a
next.
few
I'm gonna push through
months.
these next two real quick because I want to get to the meat real quick.
All
But I
right,
want to ask the one. Yeah,
pause, pause.
who's forgive me, Smooch, but who's the dopest producer and why? Dopest producer to you?
You talking to me?
Yeah, yeah. Just throw it out there.
Ninth Wonder.
Okay, that's a
It's
good one.
either it's gonna be the Ninth Wonder or it's gonna be Timberland.
I can see you surprised by he's surprised by the answer. He thought he was
Oh
gonna say
Who
Travis
is?
Scott.
I'm surprised by the answer.
no, I'm
Nah,
surprised by the
you just
answer.
look at Smooch's face.
I can't see his face. I got the camera turned around.
Oh, you don't see nothing. Okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't see what y'all are doing.
That's
But
why
nah,
you
yeah, bro, I'm
listen.
talking about like, cause I grew up in music, bro. I play saxophone, play trombone. I learned how I was learning how I was teaching myself how to play the keys, but I sung in every choir. So when the homie, he was a producer, like he started producing, he tapped me into like people like Ninth Wonder. And yeah, like some people are just
So,
undeniable, bro. Like
so it just
they
all
got an
fell off with
ear.
Drake, huh?
You want to get into this, man? We get into this,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We almost there. We almost there. We almost there.
Come on, man.
Smooth. Who's your favorite producer? Who the dope producer?
You know what? I'd have to say Primo.
Primo. Yeah, I like that answer. For me, it gotta be Primo or Timbaland. Fight to the death. I don't care. Other than that, I mean, I want to say Kanye, but also, literally for me, if I had Primo, if I had a perfect album, Primo Timbo, I'm set for life because he can do anything.
Timberland is man, he's good, man.
Well,
Like
Yeah,
well,
even to this day, like he'll
yeah,
like go live on TikTok. Like he's really and he's still in it. Like he's
he
not a
studies.
person who just kind of left it. He's still in the studio, unlike Dre, unlike all these other guys. So yeah.
Okay.
I'll say I'll give Timberland the props on the popular to R&B side of the game, and then on the just straight hip hop, uh, the way two things with Premier, his scratches and the way that he made that SP 1200 do what it did. Like those
Yeah,
two things, the way that there's a way that an SP 1200 chops drums that just makes you feel a certain way. And I listened to a Gangstar album over the weekend, and because I listen to an album every weekend, I just I try to see, was I just excited based off of a new type of technology and music, or was it the actual hip hop that pulled me into liking certain artists? And when I was listening to Gangstar, I was like, man, Gangstar had the heavy, because this is the thing. I know a DJ who used to scratch a lot. He wasn't a producer, but he just used to scratch a lot, and he DJ'd for rap groups too. But when he scratched, it was so much noise that it just kind of, he was skilled at what he did, but it was just so much noise that it was just kind of like, come on, man. But with Premier, the way that he made the way that he made beats on the SP 1200, and he can make the scratches go with it, I just say that just takes a very special producer to pull that off.
yeah. I feel like a Timbaland beat is mandatory for some point in your career, like Timbaland for real. If you're trying to make professional studio albums, be part of the elite. But a Primo beat is an honor. But yeah, going into the next question. What's old? This is something I saw online. I just want to get y'all raw definition of what's old. I'm gonna tell you what the common answer is, and we're gonna move on.
Old in what sense? Music wise, or you talking about what?
Just age. Like, what do you when you hear this person, you find out they a certain age, you go, man, they old. Like what year is that at this point in this society? What do most people consider old? Because you speak for the youth.
Man, if you're talking about YNs think 25 old.
Okay,
They crazy. I would say 40, 40 plus
okay. All right, Smokes, what are you doing?
Man,
podcast.
uh, I could rock with 40. I could, like, I don't, it's not what I feel, but it's what I feel the public feels.
Yeah, like literally, the kids is like, man, if you was born with anything with a 19 on it, you old. So that's like 25. Yeah,
That's bro,
they
that's
take it.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
highly offended. They go, there's some grown ass people talk about some man, like, yeah, I was born in 2002, I was born in 2004. So if you was born in 19, they said in their mind, they hear 19, they think 1938.
Bro, but
See,
it's crazy because they literally don't it's almost like they don't value age at all. Like
Oh no.
and you pay attention to the artists who they hold high. Tupac died young, Biggie Smalls died young, uh X Extension died young. Like they put that in their mind. Like if you make it past 30, fuck you. Because you was apparent in their mind, it's like they think, oh, you either supposed to be super, super famous before you hit 30 or dead. And it's
Or
just, it's
mine.
stupid.
Okay.
Nah, I would have to say I'd have to take a page out of Morris Day's book. He said,
That's an old name to say.
Who is that?
Morris Day.
Who is that?
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it
You
alone,
say
man.
Purple Rain?
We're gonna let Jeremy
Oh,
ringmaster this
okay,
thing
okay,
where it need to
okay. Hold on.
go.
You talking about the guy in Purple Rain who was going against Prince in the battle off,
Yeah,
the sing off.
yeah, yeah.
This whole conversation just proved we all old. That's
Yeah.
basically. All right, here we go. This is the main question. Did you listen to GNX album, and what is your takeaway? Let me see. I think Smooth. I think you should kick this one off first.
We're gonna let your boy go.
You
No,
think so?
We're
no,
gonna let your boy go.
you go, man. Go ahead. Let me hear you gas this record, man. Let me hear you gas it up.
I listened to GNX and it was interesting because when I heard it, I thought it was a dope record. Now, why did I think it was a dope record? I thought it was a dope record because, first of all, Kendrick has this way of doing this. He does this thing where he bridges the gap with contemporary culture, and then he'll pull something from the past and mix it up, and he'll lure you in to where you're just in the vortex. Where I'll say him having the sample Debbie Deb, him having the Luther Vandross samples, him having all that, but having a contemporary art form with it, that's not whack. Now, this is the thing. The one thing that I will admit, I believe Mace made a comment and he said, you know, Kendrick's music make people think too much. Sometimes people, they don't want to think. They just want to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to think.
What
For
song they
me,
stuck on thinking about with GNX? What's tripping them up with GNX?
amen.
What?
Amen.
That's the thinking album.
I'm not saying that it's a thinking album, but what I'm saying is he took the art form of rapping and battle rapping and he went back in nostalgia, and he didn't just take like hip hop loops and hip hop samples, but he really took like some LA culture type of like Debbie Deb when I hear music, you know what I'm saying? And then even the way he freaked the Luther cut with SZA, like that was like, damn, that was he Kendrick is a musical genius, very talented young man. Um, him and Drake got into a battle. If it would have been a battle of pop tunes, Drake would have been triumphant. But it wasn't a battle of pop tunes. It was a battle of culture.
So, question, real quick. Not Like Us. Is that a pop song?
No.
Okay.
It happened to end up on the popular charts, but it was not a pop tune.
Okay. Right.
What was it?
What?
It was a response from Kendrick Lamar to Drake.
So it wasn't pop. It was lyrics. It was lyrical.
It was a battle tune that became popular.
Okay. Deleon, go. What's your takeaway
Hey
from
man.
GNX?
Hey man. Hey man. I'll say this because I won't make this long.
No, make it long. We got time.
GNX. I know I would like to if I had enough money, I would call a chiropractor to go check on SZA to see how her back is doing from carrying this entire album. It's amazing to me that
Wow.
we actively watched the GOAT in Pulitzer Prize winner, wholeheartedly held to be lyrical god, produce one of the worst albums in his catalog. Untitled was better than this. Damn
Nah,
was better.
I can't say that.
Hold up. Untitled was better than this. Damn was better than this. Good Kid, Mad
Okay.
City was way better than this.
Okay.
To Pimp a Butterfly was better than this. If
Debatable.
you're telling me Pulitzer Prize winner had to get SZA to give him his best song out of, what was it, 16 songs? How many songs was on the album?
I think
Squabble
it's
up.
12. I think it's 12, but
Squabble
I
up
go.
was whack.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if it was any other LA artist, YG, Shoreline Mafia, anybody else who produced GNX, we wouldn't be talking about it. The only reason you're talking about GNX is because it's Kendrick Lamar. I even would go as far as to say Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers have more bangers than GNX. But
Mhm.
like I said, SZA, he if it wasn't for the Luther record with SZA and the other record with SZA, that album might as well have been a mixtape. Because after you gave me Good Kid, Mad City, after you gave me Damn, after you gave me To Pimp a Butterfly, you're not about to pass me G and X and say these are equivalent to this. It's not. And that's okay because most rappers, and Ice Cube said this, have about 4 to 5 years. That's all they have. If you are lucky enough to surpass 4 or 5 years, that's because you were blessed beyond measure, or you had something that others didn't have, like Kanye West, like Drake. It's okay if you don't last as long, but don't sit up here and try to make it seem like you are a contender. And when it comes to making hits, when we have to actively pay attention to the music you're giving us doesn't equal up to the music you gave us. GNX, not one song, Squabble Up, Luther, not one song on GNX touches anything from Good Kid, Mad City. Nothing. And it
Okay, real.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if anybody agrees with me or not. You know, just as well as I know, you're not in 2025. You're not hitting replay on most of the songs on that album. You're listening to Luther, and that's about it.
Okay, real quick. All right, to give you
Yes.
credit for what you said, Luther is currently number one,
It's
but
not. It's not. I
this.
looked at this. It is not.
Okay,
It got dethroned by
okay.
Nokia.
Yeah, well, look. Let me finish what I'm saying. But I'm glad you said that. What made Luther number one actually isn't the it wasn't the GNX album per se because that was released in November. It's because of the Drake um Kendrick comparisons. So literally, when Drake's dropped, which we got to get to that album, when he drops some sexy love songs with Party Next Door,
Yeah.
people have been comparing, and that increased the listens of, and also the Super Bowl performance. SZA saw in the same conversation. It increased the
Yeah.
listens of Luther. That's the reason
Yeah.
why Luther's number one. But you said
It's not. Whatever.
you made a huge accusation. The accusation is that SZA was carrying this whole album when she's only on two tracks.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
her
And
fault.
I pray for her back to heal by the summer because good God, man. Good
No,
God.
hold on, wait.
If you're telling me you need scissor, because all this was this, let me just break this whole thing down for you
No,
guys.
hold on.
All this was scissor, because I don't know if y'all from the West Coast, y'all in the West Coast, you saw uh uh Minister Society. In Minister Society, Kane got approached by a guy who felt that his cousin was getting disrespected with. And he said, I'm about to fight you because you disrespected my cousin. What we paid attention to, if you really paid attention to this whole beef, SZA was fucking, well, I ain't gonna say fucking. She was having relations with Drake. They went south because Drake's a player. She got in her feelings, went back to her brothers, our team, TDE, and cried to them about it. And they said, "Man, I told you he was a sucker. Why'd you go fuck with him?" And then she didn't have no explanation for that. So Big Brother Kendrick Lamar said, "Don't worry about it, little sis. I got this." And that's what we have. Because if
This
you
is
telling
not
me what,
their relationship was before either of them was famous. What are you talking about?
hey
Literally, they
man,
got songs. They got songs together. She
hey
was on
man,
for all the dogs. She has a
yeah.
song
And
on.
when she got slimed out, and she felt though she got the short end of the stick, she
as
said, "I'm about to go tell my brothers that you played me."
Okay,
as much composure and as calm and as intelligent Deleon may look when he's saying these things that he's saying, you know what I'm saying? There's a
oh
lot of
man,
hate. There's a lot of hate on the
somebody.
back end, man.
So real quick. I hate to cut you, but we got some the commenters. Somebody in the comments was hitting 100 on Deleon's speech.
Hey man,
Uh,
look, I just come to tell the truth because me and Jeremy, we talked about this, man. Everybody knows when you was in high school, it was a high yellow black man who got all the bitches. Let's just be honest.
wait,
You didn't know why. He just got all the bitches, and it bothered you. You was like,
somebody,
damn,
hold on
I
real
don't
quick.
want him to get my
Comment
bitch.
section,
So,
show yourself. Who was it in the
hold on,
hundreds?
hold on. Let me say this.
Was
Let me say this. Let me say this for the public and for the people, for you guys. Just because somebody tap your girl, don't mean you supposed to go off the rails and go at the person who tapped. She got tapped. It's okay. Here's what you do. You don't come out and tell everybody that you hate the way the person dressed, you hate the way they look, you hate the way they talk, you hate the way they walk. That's player hater shit. Where I'm from, Houston, Texas, third ward, H time we go down. We don't condone player hating. We congratulate. We don't sit up here and look down on somebody because they fucked up, bitch. We go, good for you. You fucked it, good for you. You was able to get her, good for you. But to come out and say, I don't like the way you dress, I don't like the way you talk, and you shouldn't say the N word, that's wild work. But that's a true hater for you. That's a person who didn't get raised up by real men to say, bro, don't be a player hater. Hate the game, don't hate the player. Don't
Real
don't sit up
okay,
men,
here.
you
Don't
talking
sit up.
real
okay.
men. You talking about this dude from Canada
Oh,
that
okay.
don't have no
Geographic.
connection
Geographic.
with
His daddy from Georgia, of
this
Memphis.
dude from
Memphis. I'm about to
Canada
say Memphis. Yeah,
that has
Is that
no connection
Tennessee,
to the
Jesus
Tennessee.
African
Christ?
American experience. He's the dude. I knew dudes like Drake, dude, in
Hey, what I
high
say?
school. In
Every
high
dude
school.
know a light-skinned black dude who was
Nah,
fucking
but he
all the
wasn't.
bitches.
He wasn't even light skinned, and he wasn't even black. He was an Italian dude. His pops was an insurance salesman. He had a pool. He had a music studio.
That's not the
He had a
same.
Trans Am.
That's not the
You know what I'm
same. That's not
saying?
the same.
Okay,
You're trying to find some. I'm talking about
real,
actual high yellow black dudes.
real,
They
real
probably
quick, real
grew up in
quick.
the suburbs. They probably didn't grow up in the inner city with us, but they come to our
Man,
school midway through the school year, and then we be like, "Man, where you from?" He be like, "I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana," and you go, "Damn, this thing about to fuck all the bitches," and he ends up fucking all the bitches.
Look. I don't want to get too far off task. I'm just speaking on behalf of the chat. Somebody in the chat wanted to ask. I want you both of you guys to answer this. What do you
What?
rate GNX out of 10?
7.
7. Okay.
I'm
I give it a
going.
7.
I'm going hard for hard. Zero replay. Like I said, I wish I had money to pay a chiropractor to go check on Scissor because this is mind blowing. That Scissor and those K bots
I have to this.
they worked overtime for that whole project to be in our conversation
This is where I
because
have to disagree
the K
because
bots are
okay,
real. Were you about to disagree about the K bots?
look. We talk about songs. Let's just go song for song. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, right?
Okay.
Because okay, Luther is doing well now, but I would say when the album first came out, that wasn't the focus. I would say Squabble Up was the first single. This is clear, factual
Real,
information.
real quick, Jeremy.
Go ahead.
And I hate to do it, but I got to do.
Yeah,
I've been good lately, though, man. I've been really practicing to not cut off and all that.
that's
So,
good. That's good.
Delican, Squabble Up did not have a catchy hook, catchy beat. It was nothing that intoxicated you about that song at all.
This
It
is
was
perfect.
just
I'm telling you what Squabble. I'll break Squabble Up down for you in a couple sentences. Squabble Up was a just like not like a. It was a L.A. bop. Everybody else, because I get it. Y'all think y'all know it. I'm telling you, when I say everybody else, not in Black culture, not in California, they are not listening to Squabble Up like you guys are. And here's the thing, that's not to say it was a bad song. I'm just telling you, it does not have the reach y'all think it has.
I don't
Most
believe it was a
people,
regional cut.
I'm
I,
trying
I
to
Okay.
tell
don't
you,
like everything in me.
most people in the middle of America is not singing Squabble Up. That's just the
All right.
truth.
Okay, look. So look, I'm just gonna name the hits, right? I'm taking me out of it. These are the songs that everybody was playing. They're behind TV shows, commercials, movies. Like this is even when I was doing commercials for the Super Bowl, they was playing these songs. Okay, and I do want your raw opinions on it. So of course we got Squabble Up, we got TV Off, we got Hey Now, Peekaboo. These are the songs that you can catch anywhere at any time. What are your thoughts on the songs outside of Squabble Up? Because we covering it. We already covered
You want me to tell you right now?
it. Yeah,
Come December, I bet nobody's listening to Gen X. There it is.
that's a long time. December's pretty good.
I'm telling you right
Negative.
now, come December, the only song you, me, or anybody else are gonna talk about is Luther. Everything else is not gonna be mentioned.
So I have a
TV
question.
Off.
I'm
I,
telling I'm going to say this again for the people who didn't put their ear and A's in. I'm telling you, Luther was the best song to come out of the entire album. That's it. And that's because Luther Vandross is Luther Vandross and SZA is SZA. That's
what
it.
Luther comes straight under 3 minutes. You think that 3 minutes was better than
I'm trying to
all
tell you,
of
bro. I've paid attention to music for a long time. And for Gen X to even be in this conversation right now, it's only because of the push it got and the beef that it was associated with. Without Drake, you don't have Kendrick Lamar. Without Jay-Z, you don't have Drake.
yeah. We- yeah.
There is nobody I can point at other than Baby Keem to say without Kendrick Lamar, you wouldn't have Baby Keem. Everybody else would be perfectly in their place, doing their thing, coming out of the West Coast if Kendrick Lamar never existed. So if you don't understand that, I don't know what else to say when it comes to this album. I geared this album up next to his all the rest of his albums. If you're gonna sit up here and say Gen X was better than Damn, you're lying. If you're gonna say Gen X was better than To Pimp a Butterfly, you're lying. If you're gonna say Gen X was better than Good Kid, Mad City, you're lying. But that's okay. If you push that and you go through your day to day like that, I bet money you are not listening to Gen X come December, especially compared
We'll,
to the rest of his catalog. The rest of his
we'll see.
catalog washes Gen X all the way out.
We'll see. But I will say this though: when it comes to Pimp a Butterfly, To Pimp a Butterfly, one of my favorite albums. Period. Because I look, you gotta gauge things by moments. You know what I'm saying? Moments is what carry things over time. It becomes a part of history. Literally, this moment that we're living in right now, people are only gonna remember certain things. You can't tell me people ain't gonna remember the mustard. That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit 5 years from now, 10 years from now. People gonna be talking about some mustard. That's just whether I like it, whether you like it, whether I whoever. That's important. You cannot waste it. I'm
You,
like
you
you
know what they gonna do?
with the pepper butterfly. Literally, I think the only thing that lasted from that entire run, and I loved Pepper Butterfly, was all right. And that was because of the protest that happened years after.
How you
I'm
and
like,
that's another thing. How don't you not perform all right at the Super Bowl? Hey
That's
man,
actually what we're going to next. But real quick, I want to
hey,
ask a couple
hey man,
questions. I
I
just want to
can't
ask a
believe
couple
this,
questions
man.
because we got the comments. I just want to get the comment people in here, and then we're gonna move on. They said, Okay, yeah. Which is a better diss? Not Like Us or Ether?
You talking to me?
Both of y'all.
Good, you can have this one. You can go first on this one.
Not Like Us, man.
Over
Okay.
Ether? Ain't
In
Ether the
you okay? They're
ain't
two
Ether
different
the
kind.
one with
No,
Jay-Z and Nas?
listen to
Nas,
me.
Nas. It was Nas dissing Jay-Z, yeah.
Listen to me. They Not Like Us is a hit. It's just a hit. It's still going. I didn't want to interrupt you because you felt the way you felt while you were expressing that, and I believe everybody needs to be able to express how they feel. But dude, Not Like Us ain't slowed down. It seems like they made it slow down. Like they did something to like they had to hit the drag racing parachute on it or something like that, dude.
But no, they
Dude,
just they this football team just had a whole their whole section was they not like us against the other team.
bro, that
That's
was the soccer team, anyways. But
yeah,
bro,
football.
it was hold on. So are we not going to address the fact that Not Like Us was botted? Are we not going to bring that up?
Dude, bought it, not bought it. And then I'd have to say, in order to be fair with that, we got to talk about the Drake songs that were bought.
Okay.
Chirp, chirp.
I'm gonna say this. If you bought a song that's genuinely good, by all means. If you bought a song that's genuinely bad and you force it down
Chirp,
our
chirp,
throats, you force it down our throats in hopes that all the
chirp,
people
chirp.
digest it. And when I tell you it does not hold up to the rest of this person's catalog, you can say
Chirp,
church up
chirp.
all you want. Without Drake, you don't have a Kendrick Lamar.
Ha, 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 ha.
Without Drake
Uh,
existing, Kendrick
so you
Lamar
said
doesn't. Hold on, because
yeah.
it's a chirp. Without Drake, you don't get Kendrick going on tour, which means you probably don't even get a chance to hear To Pimp a Butterfly, Untitled. You probably don't even get to see that stuff. So
Can you
for
add a little more
y'all,
context for the people who don't understand what you're trying to say?
I'm saying the fact that Drake gave Kendrick his first number one and took him on tour, those two things are so big for Kendrick's career. For him to get all the way here to 2024, 2025, and bite the hand that fed him is 100% hater shit, very disingenuous, and it shows the character flaw that Kendrick has within himself, that he is not the black messiah that everybody praises him to be in hip hop. He is not this guy who came to hip hop to go against the industry and go against the machine and point out the hypocrisy. He's not that guy. He is the guy who said, man, I want to be at the top. Why everybody else got to win? I deserve it all. These are words out of his own mouth. Brother, I get it. Don't nobody want to be second. Don't want nobody want to be third. I ran track. When you in the lead and you get hawked down and somebody pass you up on that last 100, you feel like shit. And here's the reality of all of this. The Weekend, ASAP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, all the people that Drake gave stimulus checks to see their careers go upward, all turned on this guy because what? He fucked somebody bitch you knew? Oh, because what? He didn't want to do a song that you wanted him on? Oh, because what? He didn't feel like you were doing business the way that you wanted him to do business? Fuck your feelings. If this person put you on and got you to where you could feed your family off the art that you love so much, who are you to sit up here and now say, I'm about to take shots at this person because I feel as though I didn't get all that I wanted out of this? You're a sore loser. And at the end of the day, to partner with the industry who you said at the beginning you was against, to partner with them and say to yourself, oh yeah, I'm gonna help y'all take them down. And it still don't work. And here's why I say it still doesn't work. Because how are you telling me you drop Gen and X, and then as soon as Drake dropped a collab album with somebody who was on an R&B chart actually starts to wash away the Gen and X album, which is so good. Let you tell this first. Let everybody squabble up with so great. Okay, if it's so great, how come R&B album is coming through, washing it smooth out the way? And here's the thing: even if you don't believe me, even if you don't believe me, like I said, if you take away Kendrick, who do we lose? Baby King. If you take away Drake, we lose a handful of rappers, including Kendrick Lamar. So you
So,
can say what you will, say what you
so
must.
yeah.
So
So what I would say to that is, out of that whole beef that Drake and Kendrick had,
Uh-huh.
there was one hit that came out of that beef.
Family Matters, yeah.
No,
that's not true at
no,
all. That's not factual information.
Hey
no.
man, I'm going off of I'm going off of what my boy Jeremy would say is bars.
So
If
peep
we
this.
if we going off a bop battle, if it was a bop battle, sure, give Not Like Us the trophy. But if we going off of bars,
I got a shirt client.
an actual
I
rap
got a
battle is
shirt
Family Matters.
client that owns a technology company. He wanted me to put something in reference to They Not Like Us on his work uniforms. And I found that very interesting. And we've never talked music at all. That's just something that he told me. He emailed me last night or whatever. Um, I think the problem is that what Kendrick does is kind of like, I want to say groundbreaking in a way that affects history. And I think that what Drake does, it kind of just, it just works for the moment. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
let me say
Well,
this. Let me say this. If Not Like Us, because the hook is what you're referring to. Not Like Us, the hook, catchy, boppy, everybody can use it. Football teams, basketball teams, soccer teams, lacrosse teams, everybody, they're not like us, right? What I have a point of contention with is the calling another person a pedophile because you perceive or believe it to fit a narrative that is a rumor surface like around the scene. If you don't have proof of this and you sit up here and say to yourself, I'm gonna put this in a record. The record, the hook part that you were referring to, the not like us part, Bob, catchy, relatable because everybody can use it. But as soon as you start saying this person is a pedophile, defamation, you're a loser. Why would you say something like that? That's equivalent.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you what that's equivalent to because my homie,
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you what that's equivalent to because my homie dealt with this in Long Beach and I didn't like this.
Wow.
My dog went to a party on a bus. It was a party bus in Long Beach. And he invited me and my lady to go, but something just said, man, you know what? Me and my girl, we just gonna chill. We ain't gonna go. He messed around and went with his girl. And by the end of the night, which was like 4 in the morning, I get a phone call from his girl. They at the hospital because some Crips jumped on my boy. And you know what they said to justify them beating them almost to death? They said that he disrespected one of the girls on the bus by touching them inappropriately. What I've noticed with these gangs and the gang culture coming out of LA, you don't need proof or anything. You just need a bunch of them to say somebody did something so they can justify beating the shit out of you. And that's what Kendrick needed. Kendrick didn't need any proof that Drake had a daughter. He didn't need any proof that Drake was sleeping with underage kids. He understood what they culture is man, that's why he took the whole LA sound and tried to make it a sound that we all wanted to hear. I'm trying to tell you, Texas to Florida, nobody is listening to the West Coast sound. And that's
I'm
just the
so
truth.
glad. I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to now list Billboard top 10 100 records this week. And by records, I'm not saying rap records. I'm just naming the hottest songs in the country as judged by Billboard. No bias on my end whatsoever. Number one, what do you think it is?
Man,
All right, look, I'll tell you because I didn't like that response. The number one record is Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
what are you looking
Number
at?
two, I'm looking at Billboard Hot 100. This is fresh. This is from last week. Literally, I have no opinion on this. I am just stating what I'm looking at. Number one is Luther. Number two, Not Like Us. This is his 41st week on the charts. Number three is Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Die with a Smile.
What,
Let's
bro?
see.
What are you? Hold on. What are
What
you looking at? These are songs
Billboard?
that was last
Billboard.
year,
No, this is last week. I'm trying to tell you.
bro.
Literally
No,
last week.
dude. What is today? What are you talking about? Last
No,
week?
this they can't. A week has to pass, bro. I'm not. I can't do nothing if the week hasn't passed yet.
Bro, stop
Listen,
it. Stop this.
this is.
You know,
Hold on, wait. Let me just
nobody
finish.
on this.
Let me do it for you. Let me just do the top 10. I'll leave you alone after that. All right. Look, I'll do it faster because obviously it's too slow for you. Number one is Luther. Number two, Not Like Us. Number three, Die with a Smile. Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Number four, TV Off. Number five, Squabble Up. Number six, Give Me a Hug by Drake. Number four, Apartment, APT is Rose and Bruno Mars. Haven't heard the song. Number eight is was it Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Number nine is a bar song, Tipsy, Shabuzi. Number 10 is Nokia, Drake. That is Billboard top 10 charts records right
That
now.
is
People are listening to. The
that
country is
is
listening
a
to.
that is a, for one. Let me just say this right
Okay.
now on Spotify. It's
Okay.
Nokia. It's Drake.
Okay.
Right
Let's go
now
to top
on
10 Spotify.
not right now on iTunes. It is Drake. I am not about to play this game with you or anybody else. If you want to sit up here and say Gen and X was great, by all means say that. I'm going off of what I currently hear everywhere I'm at. And nobody's playing Not Like Us right now. Nobody's playing Squabble Up right now. Nobody is playing. Now, I will say this Luther is being played because of SZA. Not it's because of Luther and SZA. Luther Vandross and SZA. Kendrick Lamar is not the reason that record is doing well. You could put any LA artist on that record with that groove and it's gonna go. If anything, what Kendrick Lamar should be doing is trying to revive J Rock's career, try to revive Schoolboy Q's career, try to revive uh, the guy who came out homosexual. He needs to work on the TDE group and help those guys rise to the occasion and plant some money trees for them so they can stop riding the coattails of TDE. But the problem is that will never happen. We are watching the peak of Kendrick's success in his career, and this will be the last that we hear from him. I guarantee it.
So look, I don't know what chart you're looking at. Look, I'm on Spotify. Most popular songs on Spotify, top 10 right now. Spotify. Number one, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Look, I'm
Hold
gonna
on. What
skip.
is Lady
I'm
Gaga?
gonna
I
skip.
don't even know Lady
I'm
Gaga
skip.
and Bruno Mars had a song.
They just dropped the song. Literally, it's been out like maybe 2 3 weeks or something like that. But that's number
This is
one. The
cap,
old
bro.
look, look. I'll tell you this. Literally, Drake and Kendrick are not on the top 10, but let's see, they got 28. Not Like Us, followed by Chapel Roan. That's the first thing. So, and I'm on Apple Music top. This is United States of America. This is what it says. Number one, Apple Music is Luther. Number two is Nokia. Number three, Not Like Us, Drake. Number four, 30 for 30, Kendrick and SZA. Number five, Give Me a Hug, Drake. I don't know who do this. I didn't make these charts. Number
Okay,
six
so
is
look
TV
up.
Off.
So so
Number
so
number seven is Party Next Door and Drake.
so if this is true, if what you're saying is true, you finna because I'm gonna tell you right now, Sexy Songs for You has sold more records than Gen and X. You are aware of that, right?
I'm gonna go look right now.
Go look. And I call it money for you. I like calling it money for you. I don't like calling it sexy songs for you because the money sounds to me. It sounds like they wanted you to call it money for you.
Well, you seen what you call it had issues with what's his
Oh,
name? Freddie Gibbs. He felt like they were using his symbolism.
loser. Yeah, a loser would have a problem with that and try to like tie himself to a winner. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh God.
I know a lot of losers who I want credit. Come on, come on.
If
I did.
reincarnation is a thing, and I'm fortunate enough to have another dog, a new dog into my whole pack, and I get one that comes with the spirit of Deleon, boy, I will have the most
Hey man,
loyal spirit
I like to
that
stand
Well,
on
probably
the
roams the
side.
face of
I
this
like
earth.
to stand on the side of right.
I'm
If we're
glad you
gonna go
said
with
that.
right, I want to stand on the side of right. And
I,
as far as this whole debacle has played out, Kendrick Lamar is not right. You're not about to sit up here and tell me you are for the peace and uniting of black people, and then turn around and tell a black person who is the same skin tone as your fiance, wife, baby mama, and say you are not allowed to say the N word. That is just
look,
stupid. It's hypocrisy. It's bullshit. It's not the culture that I want to align with. I think his character is very flawed, and the fact that nobody around him is telling him the truth is sad. It's an echo chamber around everybody in LA that's gassing this bullshit. Because I just told you Gen X, and you can agree with me or not agree with me. You know for a fact Gen X does not stand next to his last projects.
okay,
You,
real quick. Look, Smooch, if you have a dog and you want it loyal as Deleon, can you do me a favor and name that dog Cap? Because GNX first week sales was 319,000 equivalent album sales. That includes 3,200 pure sales. That means
Yeah,
that they
man.
purposely bought it. That's not based on streaming. Um, Sexy songs for you. Some sexy songs for you. They it sold two was it 246,000 album sales, which is still impressive in today's market, but it's not topping Kendrick's 3,019 and also
what?
25,000 pure sales, which people actually bought a thing. So
Bro, what are you talking
even
about?
even pure sales, Kendrick 32,000 versus Drake's 25,000. But look here, I'll
Bro,
give
what are
you a
you
little
talking
step.
about? Bro, Gen and
I'll give
X
you
been out for 8 months.
no, that's first week sales. That's first week sales. First week, a week, first week is first week. But look. I'll give you this though. I'll give you this.
Brother.
This is technically a collaboration album. Had Drake dropped another solo studio album, he probably would have got an additional 50,000 sales, which would have made him
Hey man.
comparable. But
Hey man.
no, this is a collab. So
Hey
there
man.
you go.
Say what you will, say what you must. I know you need to say what you need to say to sleep at night. Music for music. Drake is the better artist, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay to say it. It's okay to fix your face in the mirror and wake up and say, you know what? I was wrong. Drake is the best. He's one of the best. We got Nas, we got Jay-Z, we got J. Cole, we got Eminem, we got uh we got who else we got? We got Drake. We got enough people at the top. Kendrick just didn't make the list, and that's okay. That's okay.
So, with that being said, I feel that your boy Deleon is very passionate about his love for Drake and the music, and he's gonna be loyal to that.
I love
Uh,
everybody, man.
I feel like this is a political conversation because as Jeremey has been fact checking in real time, you know what I'm saying?
I don't got my phone on. If I had my phone
As
on, I'll
Jeremey,
look up. I'll look up the because he's looking at the wrong thing. Obviously, this is obvious. This is obvious. He's obviously
ah,
not up to date with what the charts, the new charts. He's looking at old charts. It makes
I'm
sense.
I'm gonna hit you with this one, man, and we're gonna wrap it up. It's been respectful, but it's cool. It's cool because Deleon, he a smart dude, but he reminds me of someone who I knew and cared about once upon a time, who's a trumper to the heart. And like, regardless of how much you show him, regardless of how much you tell him, regardless of how much whatever, it's them black, it's them that black skin and them lips that made Elon not like him. And Elon is so cool, he made a Tesla. So if he don't like that black skin and them lips, I just gotta rock with Elon on this one. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But anyway, that's me paraphrasing the thoughts of a Trumper that I know who's been indoctrinated into the whole little ins and outs. But to wrap it up real quick on them, your thoughts being in Texas, we got the political craziness going on. What were your thoughts of Elon Musk before and after Trump's presidency?
Before I looked at Elon like he was just the richest guy in the world, right? Like I didn't see him having a spot, a hand, a play in anything uh political or anything associated with our government. After the election, finding out that he was so close knit with Trump and was so involved, and then I seen him giving that it's like conference in the Oval Office. I didn't like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think people like him should be so close to uh, politicians or presidents. I think it's just bad. So, and his true colors start to show when he came out and did that whole Nazi thing, and then people tried to dissect it and say, "Oh, but it wasn't a Nazi thing." It's like, yes, it was. He's the geek who finally got some money, and now he's running rampant. He's got 13 kids. He's trying to compete with Nick Cannon and Future. Like, he's a geek, but he's got enough money to try to say, I'm going to buy my way into spaces like the Oval Office, like Trump, like all these other politicians, and I'm going to start suggesting. And I think the problem with that is he's got all the money. Who's going to turn down his suggestions? And he's smart. So he's already proven that he's smart. He's already proven that he can make stuff happen. So I wholeheartedly believe the C and D white students of America will wholeheartedly listen to him and try to have him dictate what should take place in this country that will be the best thing for this country. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. He's a geek. But like I said, the C and D students of this country, they need a geek to say, but you're not Elon. You're not Elon. My buddy, I got a buddy named Elon. So that's all that is.
Okay.
Nah. Well, you know what? It was a lot of anticipation for this episode. I was gonna go a lot harder, but then I realized that your
You're wrong. You realize that
perception
you was wrong.
no
Get that?
your
I understand
perception
too. Sometimes I'm wrong and you realize you was wrong. So you was like, man, let me
your
chill out.
the perception of your reality is is so it's so loyal. It's so like it's unwavering. Like I said, man, if I had 10 Deleons on my team, man, I'd overthrow the world around.
Man, what,
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Anybody hit my line, say Smooch or Jeremy, anybody that I fuck with, oh, he did some weird shit. Oh no, that ain't I know he ain't did that. I'm immediately going with the nah, he ain't did that. Let me holler at him. I'm not about to sit up here and go with because you're talking about your name, you're talking about your brand, you're talking about everything you built from the ground up, and you gonna sit up here and jump on a bandwagon of some people saying, "Oh man, Jeremy Scippio, he whoopty whooped at that party we was at." I ain't gonna believe that. I gotta holler at him. I ain't finna sit up here and just jump on a thing because somebody paying me or because it seems cool. I'm not with that. And I don't think anybody, if you say you friends with somebody or you pick it with somebody, like you should just know, man. And this is why it's coming out. A bunch of people in TDE, they got cases of diddling, of doing some weird stuff. And it's like, come on,
okay.
bro. That's I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that. I'm not with that. I'm not gonna ever
Yeah,
be with that.
let's.
So if anybody ever came at me and said y'all did it, I'll say otherwise until I know the facts.
Look, we have
Defect,
to say we have to say allegedly, and these are accusations that are currently being levied upon people
Hey, his
associated with
case is
TDE.
active
Yeah,
right now, so I see what you're saying.
defect,
But yeah.
defect in the
allegedly,
loyalist.
allegedly. What'd you say?
Defect in the loyalist. The defect is, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what Deleon's superpower is?
What
He
is this
can create
superpower?
his own reality, man. That is his superpower, man. He
Hey,
can
man.
literally create his own reality.
Oh
Not
man.
not a Walmart version or whatever. I'm talking about Disney, Black Panther, CGI version reality. But but
Man.
you know what though? I respect the opinion, but coming from a place of facts, I just say Not Like Us was a hit and it has not run out of gas.
Hey, we still got the summer. And I'm looking forward to Kendrick's next project. I'll say that.
Tell me
Oh
this.
snap! Hey, no, Nokia was number one on this chart.
Hey man, I'm not about to do this with y'all. Look, y'all
Real
go
No,
find the
I'm kidding.
real charts because
No, I'm
last
kidding.
obviously
I'm
one.
kidding. I'm
Jeremy
kidding.
was
I'm
reading
kidding.
the wrong charts. So
Hey,
y'all go
I'm
find the
kidding.
real charts. I'm
I'm
okay.
kidding. This chart is this is definitely not number one.
But y'all
Last
go
one,
find the charts.
Deleon.
I'm
Tell me
good.
this.
What's up?
When was the last time Drake had a song that had as long of a run as They Not Like Us?
What? Holla Blink? What are we talking about?
Let's see. That's let me fact check real quick.
A hit.
A hit, bro. I think so, well, see, I'm a fan. So I didn't like the album that he did with 21 Savage. But it's a song on there. It's called man, what is the name of that song? I can't think of the name. I gotta look at my phone. But he's got bops on his album with 21 Savage. I didn't like that album, but I'm still a fan. So I'm gonna say this. So Sexy Songs for You, to me, has better songs than the collab album that he did with 21 Savage, which was Her Loss. So I'm gonna go ahead and say a song that I didn't even like off Some Sexy Songs for You was Nokia, and it's doing numbers. So we just gotta watch the summer do its thing. Because I wholeheartedly believe he's gonna come out with another project and it's gonna go crazy. So he's one of
Um,
those guys. We're dealing with a hit maker. He's a hit maker. Like he don't have to take 2, 3 years off to get it right. He's gonna come with some stuff in a couple of months.
the longest song he's had on the charts, Drake's had on the charts, hmm, is No Guidance with Chris Brown. It spent 46 weeks on the Hot 100.
I
But if you
forgot
talk
about
about
that. That was
yeah,
a good
that's
song.
I don't wanna play no whatever.
Yeah, no, that was a
But
game. That was a
but
song.
that's on what? That's 100. But you talk about like top 10. You talk about God's Plan spent no, not God's Plan. Hotline Bling spent 19 weeks on the charts. This is the problem with this. You're gonna hate this, Deleon. Um,
I'm not gonna hate nothing.
so Not Like Us is currently sitting at
You
47
gotta
weeks
understand. You gotta
on the
understand this.
chart. Wait,
Hold
real
on.
quick, real quick. Let me just
What?
spit this information out. Not
Yeah.
Like Us is currently on its 47th week on the charts, and it's like number one on some charts.
Because they're in bed with Lucian Grain and UMG is making it this way. I'm not about to look. The Grammys alone let me know how to view Kendrick Lamar and GNX. When I saw Dr. Dre high five Lucian Grain, these are people who are going to make sure you say what you just said.
Okay.
I'm speaking from a listener. I'm a musician. I have played instruments. I understand music for what it is. Good music is here to stay. If what you're saying is true, 10 years from now, everybody gonna be bubble up. But hey man, I'm here for it if it does that. If it doesn't, then you were wrong. And that's okay. Because sometimes you gotta wake up and say, I was wrong. There it is.
All right.
Okay.
With that being said, where can they find you, Deleon, on your socials?
Deleon Richards on all platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I got a website, DeleonRichards.com. Y'all check me out. I got merch coming. Show's coming.
Comedian, sneakerhead,
Yeah.
lover of the Owl Army.
What are you on SoundCloud Radio, man? Hey, man. Hey, man. If we're talking facts, we're talking facts. And I'm going to just say it. Right now, running the game, The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, and Drake. There it is. Everybody else is in second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place.
All right. I can respect your opinion. And you, Jeremy, what you got coming up?
Man, what is the best answer for that? How about this? March 5th, I'll be on DL Hughley's show at the Ice House, March 5th, 8 o'clock. Other than that, everything else at Jeremey Comedy on Instagram, Jeremey Scippio, SCIPPIO.com. And I'm glad Deleon has the merch coming soon. I can't wait to buy that swastika t-shirt from you, sir.
Dude, if I did anything with swastikas, it would be swastika condoms. I'd go condom. I think that's where he missed the mark. He could have sold a lot of condoms with swastikas on them.
Okay.
With that being said, this has been another episode of Splendid Radio on Far Side TV. Thank you, Deleon.
Thank you
Thank you,
guys,
Mr.
man. Thank y'all, man. This
Scippio.
was fun.